August version of the Mac 6 newsletter, and we're here today with Ben Johnson of Arizona Web Pro. And we're going to talk about one of my favorite vacations here at Mac 6 because I was here from the genesis of it, the talk about about this trip to Thailand, to it actually happening and being worried that I'd never see again, and then coming back and hearing about it. So yeah, this is one of the great stories. So first of all, for everybody here, why Thailand?
Well, this was during COVID, and I, hadn't traveled a whole, in quite a while. And then COVID happens, and I'm the kind of person when I'm told that I can't do something, it makes me want to do it more. So when they shut everything down for travel, I was actually watching a movie. I can't remember the name of it. I just remembered on my big screen TV, in quarantine, seeing this beautiful beach with the crystal clear water. And I looked up on my phone, where was this movie filmed? And it said I think it was filmed in Phuket, Thailand. And I said, okay, that's where I'm going. So it was literally probably 2 days after Thailand opened up for travel. I got on the first flight, and I had to quarantine in the hotel for my first day there. So it was torture just seeing out the window on the balcony, and yeah, I've been probably 5 times there now.
Okay.
Since then.
Well, tell us about, so when you got on the beach after seeing it on TV and seeing it through that window when you were quarantined, was it worth the trip?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, and I had a particularly magical experience because it had just barely opened. All of the beaches I had to myself. I could walk into the nicest restaurant and get the nicest seat with the nicest view. And a lot of places I went, I was the only person there. And so on my second trip there, I was very frustrated. Who are all these people in my city? But it was definitely more than I hoped it would be.
Now, for those who don't know Ben, he kind of had a transformation when he went to Thailand, from a diet from Taco Bell, being a regular staple, to being more health conscious from the food there. Tell me about the food and like your kind of falling in love with the food of Thailand and how that helped transform your health.
Yeah, so if you saw a photo of me back then and look at a photo of me now, everyone tells me I'm a different person, and the food over there has a large part to do with that. And it wasn't the first time I had a meal over there, and part of it maybe was from eating nothing but airport food for a while, but it was an emotional experience. The hairs on my arms stood up. There was a little tear welling up, and I'm like, why am I getting emotional about food? It didn't make any sense. But when I've been feeding myself substitute, fast food. I was raised eating healthy food. We never ate fast food when I was growing up, but the second I got a job and can afford McDonald's and Taco Bell, and just getting caught in the day-to-day of working, and that's the easy, convenient thing to do. And over there, it's everywhere you go, from the street foods to the restaurants. They have a really high standard for the quality of food and access to really fresh ingredients there.
So take me through the street food, versus the restaurants. Is that like, what kind of experience is that?
So the trick, especially if you're on a budget, is to look and watch where the Thai people eat. They have a lot of these. They have Taco Bells and they have Subways in Bangkok. Sure, you can have all of that, and they have these really nice restaurants that are the same prices as the restaurants that we eat here. They very much cater for international travelers there. But I would just watch and let me find these little small. They vary from just almost like their version of like our how they have these little plazas with a bunch of food trucks. So these are a little bit more, and the Thai people just know in each community there's a little gathering spot where they have pretty much a small, just like a gathering of food trucks. Here's some soups, and here's some pork and chicken, various things you can eat there, and coffee. And it's, in my opinion, it's just as good, if not better. It's definitely better than any Thai restaurants you'll eat here, but it's maybe one tier lower than spending $30 on a meal over there. But on average, I would spend about $1.60 to $2 a meal there.
Okay.
And it was more food than I can eat and really good quality.
What was your favorite, like the thing, like you said about your hair standing on your arms and stuff like that? What was your favorite thing to eat over there?
It's crispy pork. It's basically pork belly, so they leave the skin on it, but they fry it so it's crispy. So if you don't think about it too much,
Okay.
and I make it extra spicy. I have a really high tolerance for spice, and just as spicy as you can get it, crispy pork with a thing of rice and some soup. I could eat that every day.
Tell me about the weather. So what kind of weather was it like? Was it rainy, hot, humid?
So it's always hot in Thailand, but they basically have two seasons, and the rainy season and the not raining season even. And so it's it times it really nicely because they during the hottest months over here are usually some of the best months to go over there. It's when it's not raining all the time.
Okay.
And so during the raining season, some of the smaller communities and in Bangkok, there can be some flooding is a pretty common occurrence over there. So I try to avoid it during the raining seasons. They also, up north in Chiang Mai, they have one season around October where all the farmers burn all of the remains of their crops, and so the air quality is really not good there. So try to avoid the October through January is when it's either low quality air in the north and it just rains every day. But even during the rain, I've been there during the raining season, and there's always pockets of days where it's sunny. You can go to the beach.
One final question for you is travel, and I know that's a challenge for some people with the traffic. So
Oh yeah.
what forms of transportation do you advise for that?
So this is it's definitely up to your personal preference. I always find a hotel near on the main street where they have really, really good public transportation. Their version of the light rail. So really inexpensively, you can get the city's designed so everything runs along that. Everything important you need to go to, you can get to from that train. When it comes to the little twisty, turvy, side streets, I'm a little bit crazy, and I'll jump on the back of a guy on a motorcycle there.
Okay.
That's for a couple of bucks. You can get there 2 or 3 times faster because they weave in and out. You got to have complete faith and trust and let go of all control, and because if you actually pay attention, you're thinking you can feel, again, back to the arms and the hair brushing on the rear view mirrors zooming by. So it's
I can tell you one thing I'll never do, like that and jumping out of an airplane. So so finally, tell everybody about Arizona Web Pro, like what you do and what you could do for companies.
Yeah.
So tell us about that.
Yeah, so I've been a web developer, programmer, database developer for most of my career, probably around 20 years now. And so right now I'm focusing mostly on helping smaller companies, do the things that were too expensive to do before. So artificial intelligence and automation. You can use the we have access to the kinds of tools and that normally you'd have to pay $10,000 a month for, to be a large company for. So I basically take those things that were previously inaccessible for smaller businesses on a budget to be able to implement into their business. How do you take all your documents and your processes and the tasks that you do every day that drain your energy, and how do we help automate that and implement some of these tools? ChatGPT is a great tool, but how do you actually take all of the actual content and the data in your business and give AI access to it, and I walk them through kind of step by step on how to actually implement them.
Okay. How do people get a hold of you?
Right now, the best way is to book a slot on my calendar, and I don't charge anything. We'll just sit down and pick a problem that you're stuck with, and I don't like to do a lot of talking. I like to just take action. So let's just come to me with some kind of problem that you think that AI can help you solve, and we'll sit down usually within the hour and at least put a big dent in it. And I have a calendar you can access at sorry, I'm trying to remember
We'll get that for you. What's that?
Cal.com
Cal.com. Okay.
/ I am Ben.
Okay. Well, we'll get that for everybody. So Ben, thank you for your time. And here ends our vacations of the world. And I think Thailand is now on my list.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.